Alright, y'all, now I cheated a little bit and looked around the place this morning, but I'm not actually going to solder it together for you, but I'm going to give you an idea on, come on, I know it was in, no, fuck, I gotta look for this, there, okay, here's my USB ports. I'm not going to solder it together for you, I'm just going to give you an idea on how. I am going to solder it together for the Z-Man because he asked me to make this shit. And bear in mind, when I do stuff for him, he pays me extra not to use cases. He wants it to show. He wants it to be pretty, but he wants it to show. He wants to show off the electronics. But what he's talking about in his next spot, because I guess he's getting ready to shut this one down. He's got whatever sold, but he wants to have at the tables next to him USB power for, you know, everybody in the club. So I've got these double stackers, but I'm going to use singles, okay? And you got 4 pins on the back of these plugs. If you're wondering where I got mine, hey, you know what, I save them from the back of if I get a dead laptop or something, I save them. I really don't buy them, I don't have to, there's too many. But basically, I mean, your outside 2 wires are power, and your 2 centers you're not going to need because they're just data, and all he wants to do is provide charging ability. Well, on these old ATX power supplies, which are handier than shit, by the way, some of them are still labeled. Yellow's 12, white's -5. I don't know what the fuck that blue's about because we're not looking at that plug, we're looking at these plugs. The red is +5, and white is -5, and 12 is on yellow, of course. So you would need these 2 wires right here. Haha! Can't do that Yankee. Ha! My voice won't do it. Right to those right there. Now, if you don't know the polarity of your USBs, what I would recommend is take an existing charger apart, stick you a meter on there, and make sure that you know what you're doing. You know, find plus and minus, hot and ground, however you want to call it. It is DC current. But basically what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to string a whole bunch of these on just some probably some 12 gauge wire to avoid heat, because it's going to be a pretty long run in either direction coming away from these things. And I'm going to use one bigger than 200 watt. I've got a 300 or 400 here somewhere. That way people have fast charging capabilities. But I'm just going to have I believe that's right, actually. I'm just going to have them coming out. Oh, by the way, another thing you can do if you want to test your power. Now, you got to be really slick and really careful with a tiny probe on your meter, or just take a back end of a, man, I don't know what gender that plug is. I don't know. I think this one's the female, so take the back end of a male and just test your pins. But these 2 outside ones are your power. All you got to do is find your hot. I always get it messed up, so I always check. Because this is not something I do often. And I recommend everybody double check their own work. But I'm going to have just these guys wired up at his tables to where it's right there next to the table, not on it. And then he's got some little mini clamp them on the side of a table vices, and we're gonna put them in a hole in a block of wood with the wires sticking out, and then the vise holding the whole thing. So it should look pretty cool, I guess. It's his idea. I'm just doing the wiring. I'm just a monkey. But anyway, there's I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but it is a handy idea. on how to get yourself a USB charger. You know, everybody's always complaining, man, I ain't got no fast charger. Well, you know, most of the chargers you buy, and man, you know, be careful fast charging lithiums off of something like this. Most of the little wall warts that you buy are like 2,000-3,000 milliamps. That's 2-3 amps, maybe 4. Well, this sucker's got 20, and if everybody's plugged in at once, it's not going to be quite that much. It's probably, you know, everybody's probably going to get 1 or 2. I'm not going to put in a compensation circuit to keep the amps down, obviously, and leave it right there because that's pretty much a load. They're all pretty much load sensing power supplies. They're not going to put out more than what they need. That 20 is available at all times, but that doesn't mean your device is going to be forced to take it. And that answers one question that I've had when I've previously done videos on charging stuff on the Nerdly channel. So anyway, that's an idea for you. Poor man's way to get USB chargers, or in the Z-Man's case, something really neat to entertain everybody in the club, I guess. And I don't know. But that's part of getting him ready. I've still got a bunch of stuff for the elephant I'm doing. Oh fuck, I got a nightmare here I gotta show y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all in this video. And I've already brushed the sucker out, man. I brushed it out with a paintbrush while I was down there. Soft one. But give me a second. And we're gonna be doing another video on that one later today anyway. I am gonna try and do a breakdown on it today if I can get these other machines out of my way. That one's almost oh shit. Got on 2. Yeah, let me show you what we pulled out of there. Now, I've pulled stuff out of there that's only 2 and 3 months old that's rusted through. And I am really impressed with Apple. I normally am not an Apple fan. They're kind of a necessary evil in life because for casting to screens and stuff, they're just made for it. And you don't have all that crap getting in your way like Windows, and you don't have the end user having to learn Linux. So it works out beautifully. Much simpler path for the end user. But look at all that rust inside there. Now this was an HDMI splitter we pulled out early in the game, and I've kept it. It's perpetually a bad example, but I've pulled stuff out that's only 2 and 3 months old that's been in this bad a shape. It's according to the metals on it and how much humidity there was. But let me pop this puppy open again. That was fucking hilarious. This thing was up and running for 2 years, had a fan blowing on it where the DVD slot is, and it sucked in moisture. Oh man, I gotta pull that off. Alright, we'll do that later in the other video. But where the little Wi-Fi port is down there, man, that shit's rusted. It was caked with just dust in there. Like I said, yesterday I took in soft paintbrush and cleaned it out just to see what I was up against. But this one I'm just gonna gut. I've got more boards over there. I'm just gonna gut it and put it back together fresh. That's hilarious inside. That board's not worth saving. It's got so much corrosion on it. But anyway, that idea's done. That was a side bonus. And I need to click some buttons, so we'll holler at y'all later.